Did you guys ever go to Hojoko at like the Verb Hotel?
Oh, the karaoke bar?
Yes, yes,
do
yes.
not get me started with that place.
Yes,
I
no,
literally
we
love
used
it
to
there
love-
so much.
Hey, it's Brendan Janetti,
And I'm Devin O'Haron.
and you're listening to Music You're Missing.
And we are so excited to bring you Jordy today.
Jordy is on fire right now. He just signed a record deal with 300 Entertainment. He performed his breakout single, Long Distance, on the Today Show with friggin' Al Roker. And he just announced his U.S. tour, the Mind Games Tour, and it is all kicking off this September at Firefly Music Festival.
And we are so excited to get him on the line. But first,
A special thanks to Playlist Push for sponsoring this episode. Playlist Push helps independent artists and small record labels get their music heard by playlist curators and music influencers like us. We've discovered some really great artists on the site, and of course, we've added them to the Music You're Missing Spotify playlist. And for a limited time right now, you can use the code MYMPOD for 10% off your next Playlist Push campaign.
okay, enough of that. Let's get back to the podcast and bring on our new friend Jordy.
Jordy, how's it going?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm good.
Of course. We were just talking a little bit before the show about how this has been a long time coming for us. We've been such long time fans of you, and we're so stoked that you're on the show.
I like appreciate that so much. Anytime someone's like if you've been here for a while, like that means the most to me. So thanks for like sticking with me and, sticking around. I appreciate it.
Of course.
I mean, thanks for everything you're doing. Honestly, you're doing a lot
Of
better than
course.
we are. So,
Oh my gosh, you guys are too sweet.
So, I mean, let's talk about that, Devin, because Jordy, you have had a wild year.
absolutely I don't even know what to compare it to.
Like the rest of the world was shut down, but you performed on the Today Show. You signed a record deal. You just announced a U.S. tour. How are you feeling amongst all of this awesome greatness?
I feel great and amazing and grateful and like just like super. It's all just like very surreal and I don't know. It's actually funny because like as you asked that, I was like having this thought the other day, like talking to a good friend where I was actually finding myself in like an anxious moment, like a moment where I felt like kind of lost and like I didn't actually have my shit together. And like those moments are always hard because like I look at this past year and you're right. I'm like so many incredibly life-changing things happen, but I think it just goes to show that like everybody, like your journey can be like thriving and things can be going super well, but like life is still life and we're still grinding, and we're like working hard and, getting this album done and like working a lot on new songs and just like, wanting to like keep beating the last thing. So I feel like it's like, I'm so grateful. I'm so excited. I'm like putting too much pressure on myself, but I think that that's just like a human thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, no, it's like thinking about what I was able to accomplish this year, like mostly like virtually, is kind of insane to think about. So I'm like super, super, super grateful. And, any like podcast or anyone who's like wanting to chat with me about my journey, I always just like appreciate it so much. So I'm glad you guys are digging this, like the music and stuff.
I mean, well, truly, I feel like you have to give yourself so much credit and take a step back. Like you said, it was all virtually. And I was making the list of everything you've accomplished in the past year. And I was like, okay, he's really like doing it up. Like you really have to give yourself so much credit to even get this far.
Yeah, it's such
Thank you so
untraditional
much.
ways.
We'll
too.
send you the list so that you have everything like in front of you anytime you're like not feeling great about yourself.
Oh my God. No, you guys are so sweet. But no, I mean like truthfully at the end of the day, like, yes, I feel amazing and I'm so excited. And like, I'm in like a writing camp this week and we're already like writing like more amazing songs. And so it's just, no, everything's amazing. And I'm so excited for what's to come.
That's awesome. I want to talk about the Today Show for a second because how does one even prepare for arguably their most important performance?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a really good question. It's all blacked out, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
Honestly, that's what I assumed you were going to say. I feel like that's so high pressure that you just accidentally like black out during the process.
100%. I was lucky in the fact that like it was a pre-recorded performance. So like we, found out that we had the Today Show opportunity and me and my manager were like, okay, how can we make this like really cool and different and unique and like stand out? And so, we decided to use that like plane like set because of the long distance and all of that kind of stuff. But, when I saw these clips of like Al Roker saying my name and like, oh, like that's just like the most surreal shit ever. That it was crazy. So that whole experience was like so fast paced and everything was happening so quickly, but like I'll never forget it. It was like the craziest thing ever. And like that's also one of the things that like makes like if I was crying, like my mother was like sobbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it didn't look like it was, your first televised performance. It looked like you were a seasoned vet. And I remember I watched it the first time, and I was like, is this man's on a private jet right now?
I was like, he's so bougie. Like, do it up.
He's got budget. No, honestly, it was not real. It was like a set. But like, we were in the air. That's the idea.
I did love
it.
It
worked.
Yeah.
It definitely worked. And I feel like
it was super fun.
And it really captured what you were trying to portray, like with the song being like long distance, airplane. You did it up real nice.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah. No, I mean, I actually hopped on a plane for a human, who I met during quarantine, and that was nuts. And it created that song. And obviously you guys know that song in particular this year was like craziness for me. So, the plane, man, so much symbolism.
Hold up. I might have to dig a little bit right here. So this is a real story. You actually met a guy on the internet and you actually went for it?
1,000,000%.
Because you see it on TikTok.
He DM'd me, and at first I was very skeptical because I was like, like, Jordy, like, don't do this to yourself. Come on. But like, started looking at his Instagram, and I was like, okay, he's like cute. He like went to a nice college. I'm like, okay, I see it. And I texted my roommates, and I was like, should I like FaceTime this guy who like wants to FaceTime and like hang out? And my roommates were like, we were like mid-pandemic. It was like fucking YOLO. Like we're all just like feeling so shitty, and like it had been so long since I had felt a connection with someone. And I know, like, we all saw those TikToks throughout the pandemic of people like meeting each other online and like going to make those trips. Like it was like a thing that was happening. And we totally FaceTimed for like a million hours, and it became just like an everyday talking kind of thing. And literally like a couple weeks in, I was like, I'm coming to visit you. It's just happening. And so it happened. And then it didn't end up working out.
Oops.
But the song worked out, and that's the most important thing. So
honestly, that is all that matters at the end of the day. And it's so funny because I feel like I see it on TikTok, but I've never actually talked to anyone who got on a plane mid-pandemic to go and meet a stranger. Yeah. So I feel like it's real for so many people. The fact that so many people can relate to this song just because of that.
100%. I mean, it was like, even like before the pandemic, that Julia Michaels JP Saxe song, If the World Was Ending. It's like, I feel like so many people were like finding themselves in that exact situation where it's like, we don't know where the world is heading right now. And like, there's only so much time to like allow ourselves to feel loved and desired and whatever. And so it was like, I just like was so spontaneous, and I just acted on it. And honestly, I have no regrets. It was like a beautiful experience, and I'm grateful for the experience. And clearly, like, the song made a huge difference in my life. So I'm just happy that it was created.
For sure. I think it's funny too, because you had mentioned in an interview or something that we were doing or we read that you were surprised that Long Distance caught on because its opening lyrics are you saying like, as a guy, I met a guy on the internet last week. And obviously mainstream pop music, it's like pretty heteronormative. And ever since then, you've been kind of like this pride advocate, whether it be YouTube, Billboard, whatever. That's kind of what you're billed as. So I'm just wondering, like, how does that feel? Because not only are you blowing up, but you're now also like the face of being an advocate for pride.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. You guys are the best, and you're making me feel so good. I think like my biggest goal, like as like a musician, like, for me and for all of my queer, for all of my queer counterparts and like queer artists who like are in the community, it's like, we're all songwriters and artists first. You know what I mean? Like, we're all just like talented musicians who love making music, who like want to make music for other people. Because I think it's hard to always, nobody wants to be like that gay artist. We want to be
Yeah.
like that artist who is also like very proudly gay, which is like exactly what I am. And so, with my music, it's like I'm never going to stray away from like the appropriate pronouns that like make sense for me and my story. You know what I mean? Like I met a guy on the internet, like I went to his place, like that kind of language is something that I'll never stray away from because that's my truth. But I also like, that whole long distance experience was so cool because I was like getting so many comments on TikTok from like women and like people of all kinds all around the world being like, oh my God, like I went through this, like I know exactly what this is like. I feel this, oh my gosh. And then like, I'd also see these comments from like gay men or queer people from around the world being like, the way you're like dropping pronouns in such like a casual way is like I'm just like hearing myself in mainstream pop and like that's so cool. And like those comments are also like
Mm-hmm.
so special to me too because I would have loved to hear songs like that when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like I was always listening to like Avril Lavigne and Hilary Duff and like all these like female artists because that's like what I was relating to. And so yeah, no, it's a really cool feeling to like be seen for like my songwriting and my vocal ability, but also in the sense that like I'm not like hiding myself, and I think that that's really important now is to represent like queer people of all kinds, especially in music. So
Definitely. I feel like we're finally catching up on how you can present someone who might, stray from like heteronormativity, but like we don't have to label them as like, I feel like we were talking about this when we were like setting up this interview. And I feel like something that I struggle with just working in music is I don't want to brand music as like gay music or LGBTQ music, but we often do. But I feel like there's such a place for it in mainstream pop. And I feel like just now, this past year or so, we're actually finally allowing it to just kind of exist within mainstream music.
100%. And also it's like, think about this. It's like, I also like I found ways to relate to like straight people music when I was younger because it wasn't about like the he or she or what like the she's that they were singing about, like the male artists that I was listening to. It was just like the feeling or like,
Mhm.
like nobody cared that it was like, I mean, people cared because they heard it and they thought it was cool that I was being open with who I love. But like, people were more drawn to the fact that like I was hopping on a plane to meet someone that I met after like only a week. They
Yeah.
didn't like like the fact that it's like a guy is like almost irrelevant. You know what I mean? That's just like the truth.
Hell yeah. And that brings us to your new release. First release under 300 Entertainment. Congrats.
Let's go.
I think first question is like, what's new now that you have a record deal? What's the difference when releasing a track for Better in My Head?
What is the difference? I think like, there are like certain responsibilities that are like taken off of my shoulders. Like, like as an independent artist prior to signing, it was a lot of like, I have an incredible team like of publishers and my manager is amazing and I have an agent who's incredible and everybody's doing their part, but it was a lot of me like scheduling and like getting photo shoots together and visual shoots together and like reach and now I have more of a team to kind of get all of those things in order. And there are definitely some like visuals that like I'm finally able to kind of like pursue now because there's just like more funding and like that's
Mhm.
really cool to be able to like really do like these videos and things that we've always wanted to do but just like didn't necessarily have like the funds to do it. And so for me it just feels good to like have the support from like an incredibly awesome huge team at 300. And I love my team over there, honestly. And it's actually funny, like actually that's not true. There's so many people behind the scenes that I don't know, but like just like so many women over there like killing it in the music industry and like those are like just things that like I really care about, and so I feel just like really supported and loved and I feel like people are like in my corner like rooting me on at like all times, which is like the best feeling ever. So I feel grateful as fuck, like super super supportive over there. And I'm just like excited to like it's like just the beginning, even though I've been at this for so long and there's like
Mhm.
so much music already out. It's like it is kind of like it feels like the beginning in a lot of ways, which is really crazy.
I'm so excited to hear that just because I feel like going from independent to a label is such a hard step, and a lot of artists have some miscommunication, not necessarily, or a hard time adjusting. And the fact that you just feel so supported and so loved, and you're like, I can do so much now, and you're so ready, and I feel like it's taking a next step into your career, which is so exciting for like people like us who have seen you both ways, and other people who have been following you throughout your career.
I appreciate that. No, it's so true. And like, it was, I mean, I would have never signed to people I didn't feel like 100% supported by. And like, I think what the other part of it too is like, I didn't sign to like be developed as an artist. You know what I mean? Like, I signed because they have like the big tank of gasoline and I'm the fire. And like, I already, I knew what it was like to do it myself. I spent years and years and years like working this project on my own with my small little team. And, it's like, I'm glad I was in the place I am when I signed because, I think it's a joint effort, right? It's like, it's not anybody like relying on one another. I'm not like relying on them for like the songs and stuff. It's like, I'll make the songs, like, I got you, like, they're going to like help me like bring these visions to life. And, I'm just like, I get messages from people at the label like all the time, just being like, we're so proud of you, like, keep going. Like it's a really beautiful, awesome thing. So, and 300 pays for everyone's therapy who works for the company and every artist on the roster. So
that's
awesome. Fucking
That's
cool.
an amazing thing to hear because I feel like in a lot of big companies that is neglected. Like mental health is not a priority.
And not only that, just anytime you are in the public, that fucks with your head so much. Like anytime millions of people
God
see
knows,
you,
yeah.
holy shit, that
like all of us songwriters, like all of us artists and songwriters, like we're all fucking depressed, So like, like we need, like I'm in therapy every week. Like that's like really important to me to like stay on top of my mental health and to like surround myself in like healthy and safe environments and stuff. And to be surrounded by a team who also like values that is like really special. So.
Oh, I love that. My heart is warm from like
I need that.
hearing all this. Like, I'm just happy that you're happy.
Yes. No, I'm very happy. And yes, we just did that first release, Better in My Head, which was really, really fucking awesome. Super happy that's out in the world.
What's the deal? So, I mean, we always do our research, but there's one thing I couldn't
figure it out.
What's the deal with Doja Cat premiere party and its correlation with Better in My Head?
So the night Better in My Head came out, Doja was like releasing her full length album, and YouTube Music does this kind of like Friday night kind of stream, if you will. It's called Released, and it was like hosted by Doja Cat on her YouTube channel that specific week. And there was like a segment at the end of like the party of like watch it, like waiting for her big music video at the end, where it was like, it was like some anchor being like 5 new releases this week that you should hear about. And one of them was Better in My Head that they had mentioned. So it's cool seeing a lot of the comments in the YouTube, like music video comments being like, I'm here because of Doja Cat. I'm like, yeah, you are. Yes, you are.
That's
awesome.
Sick.
I mean, to even be in the same type of category as her, even if it's just on a YouTube video, that is awesome. And that's a testament to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was so cool. It was so much fun. Much fun.
All right. Well, of course we have to talk about Boston because we're from Boston. You went to BU. That's actually,
I did.
That's how I knew you. One of my friends from BU way back when, and I was doing like music. I was doing this podcast when it was like nothing. And
I love it. I love it.
And my friend was like, "You got to get this guy JORDY on," and I was like, "Okay, yeah." And obviously I never did. But
so we've just been creeping on you ever since, I guess.
Thank God. Oh my God, I love that. No, yeah, Boston. Yes, I did go to BU.
Did you live off campus?
I lived in Allston for 3 years.
Nice.
I was on Gardner Street for my first year, and then I was on Com Ave, like near Packard's Corner, like down the street from the McDonald's on Harvard Ave. I was like in between Packard's Corner and Harvard Ave. So it was, I mean, it was like the most defining years for sure, and just like met the best people. And I feel like I'm happy I was able to kind of experience that college experience. I didn't study music. I was an English major. And, I always like was performing. I did a cappella with, the BU Troublemakers, made some treble. And I started writing a little bit and I was dabbling and I released an EP when I was in college that isn't available anymore to stream just because,
We've moved on.
it's a project of the past that it needed to happen, but it's not out anymore. But no, I mean, it was like very formative years. Had like a very serious relationship during that time that like inspired a lot of the first songs I ended up putting out when I like moved to LA. So, yeah, Boston. Love Boston.
What were some of your favorite spots?
Favorite spots in Boston. Okay, me and my friends loved. Did you guys ever go to Hojoko at like the Verb Hotel?
Oh, the karaoke bar?
Yes.
And, do not get me started with that place.
Yes,
I literally
we
love
used
it
to
there
love-
so much.
Like the food was so good. We like
The chicken wings.
The chicken wings were fucking unreal. They
so
were so good. Oh my god, we used to go to like Lolita's for drinks. We used
The
to go to,
margaritas, the Heartbreaker,
like Brookline at like Barcelona.
Oh yeah,
there was like in Austin there was like Lulu's. We used to go there for brunch.
We still go there. All the time.
I feel like
Wait, where do you guys live?
I live in Brighton. I live right on Commonwealth.
I'm dying. Yeah, no, I mean, as a student, I would hit up the Canes, like, on BU campus, like, all the fucking time.
That's literally my favorite place. I found Cane's. Someone brought it to me on tour, or brought me there on tour, and I was like, when I got back to Boston, I was like, I don't care where it is. Like, I'll literally drive hours. And I figured out there was one there. It's the sauce and the french fries.
It's the sauce. Also, like Brown Sugar Cafe was like the best Thai food, like on like in like BU area. We always used to go there. I mean, yeah, they're like T. Anthony's for pizza, obviously. I mean, yeah, just like it was like the best college town. Like truly, it was a playground.
It's such a college town, and I feel like everyone who's like, oh, I've been to Boston, it just like unleashes like some creative like something in their head.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a different environment. And I feel like growing up here, because me and Brandon both grew up outside the city, I didn't appreciate it until I went to college and met a bunch of people. And they were like, oh, I was like, oh, you don't have a city 20 minutes from you? What are you talking about? Like, I grew up with all this stuff.
It's very communal. It's like you're meeting people from like schools like all over the city. And it's like, it's just fun.
It's so fun.
It's the best.
And
I'm so excited, like Brighton Music. I mean, like Brighton Music Hall. Did I beat you to it?
No, that's awesome though.
Like that's full circle. That is literally full circle shit right there.
It is. Like I genuinely, like I saw shows at Brighton Music Hall, and like now, yeah, it's crazy. And it'll be the first time I've really like been to Boston since I graduated, to be honest, which is like 4 years ago.
Oh no way!
I filmed a music video there for like literally less than 24 hours, like a year and a half ago. So I didn't even get to really be in the city, but it's been like 4 years since I've really like been in the city. And so it's going to be crazy.
So when you come here, what's going to be your first stop for food?
Oh my God.
Or like to hang out.
I know we're 3 months removed, but still.
Like, where am I going? Oh. I feel like at some point I'll have to go to Sunset Cantina, which is like the Mexican place at BU.
I literally feel like everywhere you've named I've been to in the past month. And so I'm like, I'm not stalking you. It's just like where I go frequently.
No, I'll get like the pulled pork nachos or something. That's like the vibe.
Yeah, so good.
That's the vibe for sure.
That is good first up. Brighton Music Hall, though, that's like some legit venue right there. And we were listening back again to an interview, and you said last tour, you frequented going back to your childhood home in Chicago so that you could spend the night. I imagine things are looking a bit different this tour. What do you like? What are you looking forward to? What stops? Like what's different this time around?
What's different? I mean, we're just like playing more shows. Like I didn't play Boston last year, and obviously like I have so much history there. So I'm just like excited to like hit up more big cities like Philly and DC too. Like last year we did like a crazy show in New York, but like I just think this year is going to be bigger. And I'm also, bringing Austin, my good friend, a lot, who actually I am in her bed right now because we are like writing all week and I'm using her room to do this podcast. But she is coming to open all of the shows. And so honestly, it's kind of just us looking at each other being like, this is our life. Like we get to like be best friends and like write songs and then go on tour together. And we might have like a 15 passenger van that will just like drive around everywhere. Cause like that just sounds fun to me. Like I'm going to be able to bring more of my band. So I'll bring my drummer as well this time around, not just my keys and stems, music director, Alex. Now I have my drummer, India, who will be joining us. And you know, like, more stage design, cool lighting, you know, like now we have more resources to kind of expand and level up the live show. So I'm just flipping pumped. Like Boston's going to be just so crazy and fun. And yeah, I'm waiting. I guess in one of my songs, Close to You, I shout out, have you ever been to Union, like on Harvard Ave?
Yes.
Like it's like a brunch place.
The cafe, the lavender lattes. So good. So good.
So good. Such good food. It'll be crazy, like singing songs that are like referencing places like down the street. It's going to be cool.
And that's so fun. And you'll have Austin, who you have a song with as well. So, you know.
Yes, exactly. We'll be able to sing a little together too, which is great.
That's going to be so much fun.
You've had a few releases during the pandemic. Is there anything that you haven't played out yet that like you're the most excited to play out?
Like like a lot, like to play for the live show.
Yeah.
Oh my God, of course. I mean, I Just Want to Be Loved. Like that's a really fun song, especially live will be so fun. Long Distance will obviously be super fun. Mm-hmm. You know, there's more songs that will be coming out before the tour starts that I'm like extra excited to do live. Mostly because there's some songs coming with like big, like more organic drums and that kind of thing where we'll just be able to like shred it live and it'll be so much fun. So yeah, no, so many songs I haven't really had the chance to perform yet that we'll be able to, which is exciting.
All right, so you have
tour. A lot.
Yeah, you got the tour coming up, but you also had said in another interview that we read that you wanted to build a solid fan base before you put out a full project. What do you think? Do you think you're there yet?
I'm there. Yes, I'm there. It's happening. Yes, we're working on the first. It'll be a full length album. So this is like my first, more than an EP, more than 5 songs, more like 12 song kind of thing. Where it's we're going for it. We're going for it. Full lengther. It's happening.
Congrats. Do the damn thing. Why not? That's so
yeah.
exciting.
No, thank you. It's cool. I'm like lots of different kinds of sounds. All obviously like super poppy, but like a range of topics, a range of sounds, and just like, yeah, I'm like very, very proud of it. Like cool, like intro title track that I'm not going to share quite yet, but just like, it's all coming together. And, you know, I have, as I said, like a wonderful team backing me up. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I have the support I need. So let's just do it. Right. Let's do it.
And are you still working on it, or is this what the writing camp is for? Or like, is it done and you're just trying to make like the final touches?
It's one of those things where it's like, I have a meeting tomorrow and it's like, this is us like solidifying the tracks, but like we wrote a song yesterday that we're like, maybe we'll like sneak it in somehow. So
you have to.
It's hard though. It's hard to like, you know, sometimes like the songs we write won't end up coming out for a bit. And it's like, during that time you're still writing even more, so it's like it's crazy. I like wanted to put out like Better in my head. I had a plan for that to come out in January, but then like I Just Want to Be Loved blew up on TikTok, and then Long Distance blew up on TikTok, and then like everything changed, and so it's just crazy. It's like I want to put the songs I'm writing this week out tomorrow, but there's a line, so they have to wait like a little bit, but it's just fun. We're always making new stuff all the time.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I struggle with is just impatience when you really just like want to get something out. Especially, I mean, obviously makes sense to wait for a full project, but I like kudos to you for being able to hold off.
Oh especially with TikTok so now that you can do like the little like hints and like you see like
it's also like a good way. It's a good way to measure like what songs people are liking and stuff, and like what's connecting with certain people, you know. So TikTok is good for like market research, you know?
Yeah, you're doing it yourself. You don't need to
Exactly.
put together one of the focus groups anymore.
Totally.
All right. Well, we're very excited for what's in store for you. We like to wrap up every single interview with this final question, and it's, what are your goals for the next year or so, whether it be professional or personal?
Ooh, goals for the next year. Um, I would love to like be able to like open up for someone else on a tour. Like that would be really great to like tour with someone I look up to. So I feel like that's a huge goal of mine, is to tour with someone else. And very, very, hopeful about that. Honestly, I think just, you know, it's hard being a creative sometimes, in the sense where I think it's really easy for us to, miss out on like the present moment and like enjoying life and like enjoying like, like the hard work we put into our music. And like this year I want to like keep grinding my ass off and like grow and like, get these huge records out. And I want more people around the world to hear my songs and gain fans. But I also want to like, have a good year, and I want to like be around people I love and like do things I like to do. And like, as I said, like always like keeping my mental health in like the forefront of everything, and just making sure I'm like in good hands. I think that we just forget to do that. And like, especially after the year we've had, it's like, let's enjoy this life while we have it, And so I would love to just have fun this year and do what I love and surround myself with people I love. And I know that sounds really cheesy, but I just feel like, especially after the pandemic, it's just like happiness and like feeling good is like always like just at the top of the list.
Rainbows and butterflies is all you need. That's all
Yes.
that matters.
Honestly, anytime I like ask for advice or like take advice, I find that the most cliche and cheesy things are actually like the most powerful. When you actually listen to them,
True.
you're like, damn, yeah, they were on to something.
They
There's a
were
reason
right.
everyone says this.
I love it.
All right, well, Jordy, thank you so much for calling in. This has honestly been such a fun interview, or episode rather.
Oh my God.
Episode. And you never know what to call them.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm grateful for the support, and I can't wait to see you guys at Brighton Music Hall.
Oh yeah,
It's already in our calendar.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
December.
Bring your friends. It'll be great.
Oh, we'll have a blast. You're in for a treat.
Good. I'm excited.
All right,
Thank you so
we'll be in
much.
touch through management about everything when it comes out. I think it's next Monday, and the playlist goes live and all that jazz. So sweet. If you ever come to
Guys,
Boston,
thank
you
you so
better
much.
let us know.
Yeah, and congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much. If you guys like have it, like, do you guys like have? I want your like Instas and stuff. So like DM me or something.
Yes, we
so that I
definitely
can, like,
will.
follow up with you guys.
And then if you
Okay,
wanna,
cool. Sweet.
we can also, yeah. Just do it that way.
I don't know what you're saying, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know,
We'll
but
figure it all out.
we'll see you in December.
See you in December, guys. Thanks for having me.
Peace out.
I'm so excited for December. Holy shit.
That was so fun. Also, for those of you that don't know, like Brighton Music Hall is such a great venue, and I can't wait to see him there.
And it's such a legendary place, and there's so many artists that are up and coming. Like, not necessarily up and coming, but there's so many artists who are so big now that that's where their careers started. And I'm just so excited to see Jordy there because it's just so fun. It's full circle.
Think of all the people that you've seen at Brighton Music Hall and that caliber venue. There's a bunch of those venues across the nation, and that's where he's performing. I saw like Chelsea Cutler, Lauv, who else? John Bellion, I think I've seen there. Like, these people really grow on to have long lasting careers.
I mean, yeah, it's insane. And the fact that it's where he went to school, I love that for artists.
I don't know why I feel like I know him. I think it's because we really did our research on him, but like it was just like catching up with an old friend.
We really did our research, and I feel like there's so many people that we interviewed before that are friends with Jordy and who have worked with him in the past, like Charlotte Sands, Heather Summers, like literally everyone.
Yeah, there was a lot of mutual connections there. So it was funny to actually like talk to someone who you've heard so much about both online and like through the
like
grapevine.
other people.
Yeah, and you know what? He met my expectations, if not exceeded them.
I think he exceeded my expectations, and I'm so excited to see what he does next. It seems like he just keeps going up. So
yeah, so tickets for the Mind Games US tour are on sale right now. So head over to his Instagram at Jordy Music. He's got a link in his bio, or you can just buy them from like, I don't even know, like Ticketmaster.
I don't know. Just go to Brighton Music Hall and then you have everywhere there.
True, and then you can meet us. Anyways.
Yeah, we're a good time.
His brand new track, Better in My Head, is streaming atop the Music You're Missing playlist. And where is his shining face, Devin?
Besides here, it's on the very top of our Music You're Missing playlist as well.
The cover of the Music You're Missing playlist, yes. And hey, it's okay.
I'm trying.
Where can they find us on Instagram, Devin?
You can find us at Music You're Missing, and you can find Jordy, more importantly, at Jordy Music.
That's all for us. Thank you to Jordy for calling in, and thank you for Playlist Push for sponsoring this episode. Again, if you want 10% off your next Playlist Push campaign, just use the code MYMPOD. See ya!
Bye.